Macmillan Audio presents Dangerous Games by Lora Leigh. Read for you by Clarissa Knightley. Prologue. 10 years before. Clint McIntire, 25 years old, a Navy SEAL, a fully grown, sensual, dominant male. He was a man whom other men looked to in respect, a man who had grown in confidence and in power. He wasn't a child fighting to hide the abuse he had suffered any longer. He was a man who tolerated nothing less than his best from himself and the men he fought alongside. But he was a man who nearly came to his knees that night at the sight of one small, teenage Lolita, decked out in a short skirt, a thin pale blue blouse, and high heels. Dark brown hair flowed around her in a multitude of curls, and gray eyes sparkled back at him with a hint of laughter and interest. Too much interest. He was a grown man, aware of his sexuality, his tastes, and his hungers. To even consider the beginning pulses of awareness he could feel moving through him was a crime. One he refused to allow to take hold. She was his best friend's sister. She was his sister's best friend. And normally, she was the bane of his existence. Morgana Chavez had been tormenting him in one form or another since the day she learned how to walk and toddled to him to smack him on his 11-year-old head with her bottle to get his attention. She had been getting his attention in one form or another ever since. He hadn't expected this, though, that glimmer of awareness, the way he noticed the full, high breasts beneath her thin blouse and the long, shapely legs beneath the short skirt, pink lips glistening with a soft gloss, and gray eyes that looked smoky, seductive, rather than immature and filled with childlike wonder. He deserved to be shot. "So, are you going to stand there like a knot on a log, or are you going to dance with me?" She propped one hand on her hip and smiled slowly. "It is my birthday, after all." His lips twitched at her flirtatiousness. She had been flirting with him for as long as he could remember, too. He stared around the backyard. The light strung through the trees cast a soft glow over the 30-some teenagers enjoying the party her brother had allowed. Reno had lost his mind this year. Clint glanced across the yard to where his best friend, Morgana's brother, was testing the punch bowl for alcohol, to the laughing amusement of the kids gathered around the table. They were kids. Morgana was a kid. "Go dance with one of your friends, brat." Clint smiled to soften the rejection. He didn't have to fake his affection for her. She was as much a part of his life as his sister was when he was home. He did care for Morgana. Deeply. "Coward!" She flicked him an amused look from beneath her lashes, a look far too mature for her years and far too knowing. No man he knew would ever call him a coward. He was fierce, strong, deadly. He was scared to death to be within 100 feet of her. He shook his head and laughed at her, a soft, indulgent laugh that had her brows drawing together and her gray eyes dimming with a hint of vulnerability. "Go play, Morgana," he told her gently as he turned away. "Leave the grown-ups alone." He should have never agreed to chaperone the party. He wouldn't have if he had known what he would face, if he had even suspected that for even a second in time he would see Morgana as anything other than his best friend's sister, or his sister's best friend. She was 18, tall and lithe, a gypsy, a hellion, the most beautiful woman he had ever laid his eyes on. 2 years, a multitude of lectures, and endless nights of dreams he should have been shot for, and the awareness of her had only grown. Sexy, sensual Morgana. "When are you leaving?" They were on the back porch of her home.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?